My full name is Nashle Stephanie Urhiles Avila, and if I were to ever hear my full name like that, best believe I'm going to be running away. I'm the oldest daughter of 5 children in my family. My older brother, who I call Lupe, has always been my role model. He was essentially the blueprint from which my personality was built upon. My little sister has a stubborn personality that is immune to external influence, even from my parents. And my 2 youngest siblings, Nashle and Nashle, are a package deal. 2 peas in the pod, Chip and Dale, Chow and Kelly. I am the eldest daughter, and growing up being the oldest daughter, especially in a Hispanic household, is not an easy task. It has always been a journey of discipline, patience, sacrifice, essentially teaching myself how to be a parent for the little ones. Both my parents have had their fair share of tough experiences being an immigrant, with my mommy being one of 6 children, and my papi being one of 9. Both immigrated to the United States in their early youth and worked to secure a home in this foreign land. This practice persisted into their adult lives, unwilling to place the burden of hard work on their children. They consistently worked long hours providing for us. My papi would often wake up at 3 in the morning, leaving his home for work, while the sky was still pitch black, and the sun would have set by the time he returned to his family. My mom, taking up the responsibility for everything under her roof, would, in addition to taking care of her 5 children, willingly act as a caring figure for others as well, that being a caregiver. My parents are very hard workers who still do what they can to be in our lives, but when they couldn't, the responsibility was always passed on to one of the older siblings to step in. Being the second oldest has its many challenges. I was one of the main caretakers of my family, meaning that I had one main role: to never hesitate to help out with my siblings, putting them first. I would often pick them up from school, drop them off, change them, feed them, play with them, help them with their homework, and put them to bed at times. I would often forget to feed myself and do my homework that was usually doubled because of a program I was in. I never really had time for hobbies and ended up dropping out a lot of after-school activities for the sake of taking care of my siblings when needed. Through the weeks, I managed to keep my head above water and somehow got into Millbrook School. Now you may be wondering why my oldest brother didn't have these duties with me. He did, but in his own way. He would take them outside or play with them to tire them out, so I would be the one to change them and put them to bed. He would also buy me snacks from time to time, in case I couldn't find any ingredients in the house to make dinner. It was his own way of taking care of us when my parents weren't home. My little sister would do the same thing as well, gathering any money she had to buy us pasalitos from the guy at the corner, or smaller candies that we would snack on. But as the years went on, I became more physically and emotionally tired of having to take care of my 3 younger siblings, cooking, cleaning, changing, and having to break up fights for them. It resulted in poorly concealed scars on my skin, each one a reminder of a petty fight between all of us siblings. The constant chatter and something in the household filled up whatever quiet time or space I had to myself. I would also share my room with 2 of my siblings, my older brother Lupe and my younger sister Naisha. That meant having almost no personal space within my home. I was unable to accomplish tasks due to their loud, hovering presence, and opted to do my homework in the kitchen when everyone else was asleep. Up to this point, I had always been regarded as the maid of the family, and honestly, it wasn't bad at first. I loved having my efforts take up the role of being a caretaker for my siblings be recognized. But I had unknowingly sacrificed my time with my friends, my interests, my hobbies, and energy for my siblings, a trade-off that I would repeat in a heartbeat. But I still had moments of regret and anger. It was difficult to suppress growing feelings of resentment and frustration. Why did I have to do this at times where someone else could have stepped in? I wasn't able to talk with my friends and had to miss out a lot of events, taking care of my younger siblings, even sometimes at the events themselves. I became more distant to people, even my family, as it became harder and harder to keep up a simple conversation with them. At this point, I got accepted into Millbrook during COVID, and I was happily living a single room like I've always wanted. I didn't mind being alone at some points, since I was so used to being with people around me, albeit yelling, fighting, and so on. I just wanted peace, and I finally had it. After all, I watched how my older sibling and cousins did it. What could go wrong? A few things, actually. I never noticed that I would start to hide in my room more. I would only go out for necessary things during my sophomore year. I would start to eat less and less and become sleep deprived at times because I didn't want to sleep, thinking about where my time went. What felt like worsening grades and still not being able to talk to people all that much put me in a spiral. I would often berate myself on why I didn't do better, rather than take the time to study. It began with myself. The years and years in high school and home made me desensitized to these challenges, but I couldn't stop. The sense that I had to make my family proud, especially my mom, dwelled on me. I have to grow, work, eat, and sleep just like my parents did to be where they are now, but better. I don't want to let my mom down. I want to give her everything she's ever wanted, no matter how hard it is on me. She's my mother after all. My dad's been a truck driver his entire career. He loved it. Working for himself was the best time of his life, especially since he could take one of us to keep him company. He lost his job because of the aftermath of COVID and had to sell his truck that he loved so much and had to start working for a company. One step forward, two steps back. I've always wanted to be like him in that way, doing work that I love and maybe one day give him his own truck to keep forever. I felt like if I stopped now, I would fail both of them, not being able to give them what I thought they wanted, the perfect daughter. To my younger siblings, I felt that if I couldn't be the perfect role model for them, I would fail them in becoming better people. And to my older brother, if I couldn't do what he did, I wasn't worth enough standing next to him. Not being able to tell them how I felt was a suffocating feeling. Relationships are hard for me. I have trouble still holding on to them. I can't express most times how I felt, having to hide my emotions from my younger siblings so they wouldn't worry as well. I guess that's why I had a crisis every once in a while, not knowing who I am and why I'm here, trying to figure out what to do to become my own being, finding out what's most important in life, either to please others or to live life for myself. It's harder than it sounds, though. It takes years to perfect it, but it takes a lifetime to grow. With these ideas, I've always wondered if I could want more. I wish it was like that entirely. Maybe then I wouldn't quit on so many things. I wish that I could do everything for my younger siblings, but I've begun to understand that I can't. I've got to let them grow. Creativity and growth are influenced by my experiences, your experiences, and everyone's experiences in life. Not mine. I've realized that I can't be the perfect daughter no matter how hard I try. And I can't leave this position for caring of my siblings. I have too much love to give. To me, they're perfect, still children discovering how life works. And to my mom, who says she can't sing but has my favorite voice that I've heard. Even though if you're not here, no te preocupes por mí. Cuidándome como tu hija es suficiente para mí. To my dad, your laughter and love for all things is what makes me love life. I don't think I could ever continue on without you. Te quiero mucho y todo lo que haces por mí. With this understanding and self-awareness, I put all my troubles on the back burner. I don't really need them, and I don't want them anyways. I'm only getting older, but what I do know is that no matter who you are, how you've grown up, or what you want to focus on in the future, you do it for yourself and not others. Having the significance of people around you who love you and see you for who you are is an important part of life, but so is being built on the foundation of experience that you want to look back on. The people around me these past years are why I'm able to stand and speak so proudly. I believe that every single person in this room can live life this way, in their own balances. Never too much of one or the other. Thank you.